One of my favorite Linux distributions was Crunchbang. Unfortunately, the maintainer decided to retire this distribution because of the competition from Ubuntu. Fortunately for me, there is a distribution that carries on with this legacy with a new name, which is Crunchbang++. Although there is Bunsen Labs also, which also has the same features that Crunchbang had before, but Crunchbang++ has different things that are very interesting and we'll look at also very thoroughly. What I really like about Crunchbang++ is that it is openbox based, like the other one. Not only that, but from this distribution, you will learn a lot about openbox and how you can make it to theme it well, especially adding icons to menus, etc., etc. So without further ado, let us jump in.
We are starting the installation of Crunchbang++, and we got into this boot screen, live and live failsafe, start installer, and advanced install options and advanced options. So what we'll do is we will start installer and click enter. Okay, that's the installation that we have. So we put English, yes, continue. Select your location, United States. Depending on your location, you put continue. Key map is American English, yes, and it's starting to detect all the components that we have. Since we are in a virtual box, it will directly if we have for other installation, it will give you the Wi-Fi name or all the Ethernet that you are logging in, so that you can log in also too. So enter the host name. I will put Crunch. Continue. Domain name, continue, no domain name. Real name also I will write Crunch. So yes, Crunch. A good password. Let me put a new password. So configure the clock depending here, because if on the United States, it will give me the ones that I am using. It gives me Eastern by default, so there's no problem. Okay, so here it gives you a partition method. Use entire disk and set the LVM or encrypted LVM or manual. Let us stick with the guided, and this is the virtual box partition. All files in one partitions. You can make a separate one for the /home partition. Let us continue with the basic one. Finish partitions and continue. So it tells me that there is one partition ext4. It created another partition as swap. Write the changes to disk, yes. Click continue. And it will start installing. We'll come back when it's finished. Use a network mirror, yes, continue. Package manager, yes, it depends on your location. It gives me United States. This is Debian, no proxy. Continue. So when you log in on your installed Crunchbang++, you will have this menu, welcome menu, and also there is the conky on the right with the most used shortcut keys that you might need. So let us first go with this menu and see what can we install. It is a post installation, and it says you need a working internet connection. Of course, if you need to install some things that they are required from them. So here, hit any key to continue. We will start. It checks the internet, and then this script will now execute the command update. So you press yes. I already updated, so we don't have a problem with the update. And also upgrade. Okay, I will say also yes. So if you notice, it's very quick because they are already installed. I already installed them before. Printer support, do you need a printer support? Maybe you don't, so you put no. Java runtime, maybe no. LibreOffice, no. So here the remaining will offer you the chance to install less common. So let me say yes and check them. There are basically some utilities like some Python tools, JIT, YAML, all these, Gil also. All the tools that you need in your development if you are doing some development work. Okay, and that's it. The other one, if you need SSH, for now I don't need to install SSH. Web server with PHP, no. If you want, you can install it. And here we already have finished. Hit any key to exit, and this will exit everything for us. So other than that, let us check here how much we are using as space. We are using 5.5 gigabytes of space, and the RAM is, we are using 434 megabytes, which is fine. Especially that also they included some clipboard manager, which also will take some space. I think this is Parcelite. Parcelite is installed. That's why it bumped a little bit. Okay. So here, if you for the conky, there is a simple conky, which gives the host the uptime. The RAM, according to conky, is 578. They have different arrangement for how to calculate RAM. There is also some swap. 13.8 megabytes. The disk usage is 5.27 according to conky, and there is a 1% CPU usage. These are the shortcuts. If you notice, Alt F2 is run dialog. The Alt F3 is the Alt menu. It is basically a D menu for your applications, for all your applications, so you can search this. Super space is the main menu, main open box menu. Super tab is the client menu. Super T terminal, there's the file manager, and all of the others. Let us right click. If you notice, it's a very small menu. We can increase the font if we want. Let me increase the font. So to increase the font, you have to go to settings, open box, I think, and you go to GUI config tool, go to appearance, and here you bump the, let us make everything 13. Like my channel, 13, 13, 13, and 13. Okay, so when you right click, this is the menu that you have. It's a very classical menu, but there are many things that you will be aware of. So first off, run program. It is a custom made program using Crunchbang, so that you can, let's say if you want to run Firefox, so directly you can click here and you can run Firefox. So this is Firefox. Since we already opened Firefox, let us check the version. Basically, Firefox and Debian, they come as extended support release. There's no problem with supported release and the normal one. They are basically the same. Now we are at 109. Here it's 102, but there's minimal improvements from 102 to 109, so there is no problem in using the ESR, especially that all the security features are enabled by default. So this is a run program. It's very nice if you want to run an application. If you don't know the name of the application, you can go for Alt F3, which is the Alt menu. So if I press Alt F3, you have this D menu down here. You can, let's say, go Firefox, and you can open here Firefox, and you can enter and you get your Firefox or any other program that you need. Let's say I want Tunar, and Tunar is available here. You can click it and it opens Tunar for you. Let us continue. The terminal, of course, it's using Terminator. It's a very nice terminal, especially if you want to, let's say, if you want to split vertically, you have two here. Let's say you want to split horizontally, so you have this one as a tiling terminal for all your things that you need. Let's say I want to check edge top, so it gives me here, we are using 464 megabytes of RAM. Here I can use, let's say, sudo apt update, and I check all packages are update, etc, etc. Let me close all of them. Let me close this one also, and let me close this one. F10 and quit. Also exit, and we finished. So looking this one as a terminal. Web browser, of course, the web browser is Firefox. The file manager, it is Tunar. It's a very minimal theming. It's not that very good theming. You can change the theming if you want. And to change the theming, what you can do is you go to settings, openbox, GUI config tool. This is the theme for Crunchbang++. If you don't like it, you can change whichever theming that you want. We'll come to this one also later. Let us continue. The text editor is Genie. Genie is very nice, and you can use Genie for as an IDE. There is here the make. You can execute and set build commands. It's a very good and productive suite that to have for your text editor. So you have the better of both worlds. And the media player, of course, it's VLC. They don't have MPV, unfortunately. Accessories, you have Tunar, and you have Tunar as root. And if you notice Tunar here, there is here some custom actions, open terminal here and open root here. If we look at the custom actions that are available, we have open terminal and open root terminal here. There's also check MD5, and of course MD5 is, you can have the menu if, let me double click it, if you have .iso, if you want to check the MD5 for an ISO before you install it. So they have a handy one here, just a minimal custom actions, and there's also find files through Catfish. So this is for Tunar. For the accessories we talked about. The graphics, of course, they have GIMP, and of course they have a screenshot if you want to screenshot, a very basic one, the Scrot screenshotter. Multimedia, we have VLC and volume control, very simple ones. They have a hex chat if you need hex chat. SSH, I did not install it, but you can also install it. You can also install Dropbox for your work. LibreOffice, it's not installed. It gave me in the welcome if I want to install it. There is Abbey Word, and there's numeric spreadsheet. This is the numeric spreadsheet. It has not changed throughout the years, unfortunately, but it is a good alternative if you want to have some GUI sheets available. For the places, of course, if you want to go to the places, these are very handy. Let's say without going to the file manager, you can go, let's say, config, openbox, and you can here edit. Let's say you want to edit the auto start, you can edit it from here. Very handy also. There is also the recent files, the settings. There is a compositor. It is available whenever you start Crunchbang++. You can also disable the compositing if you want. There is the conky that you have, the D menu which talked about. The GM run is the one that here, the run program here. And we come here to the very important part, which is openbox. You know that openbox has three main files. There are four basically. This one, and there's also opconf, or openbox configuration. But mainly openbox configuration, you can also play with it inside here, the rc.xml. So it doesn't count. So these three files are important. you can directly come to openbox here, and you can, let's say if you want to go to the menu here, this is the menu, and you can change the menu as you like. All openbox power users, they make their menu themselves. They don't rely on automating your menus like others. So if you are an openbox user, or you want to be a power user of openbox, it's better for you to play with it yourself. Don't rely on automation program. And if you notice, this one is not an automated one. This one is made by hand. All of them, they are made by hand and divided by hand. I will show you how you can do it also using this trick that they have. So the trick that they have is, instead of going through edit menu.xml, you can go through the GUI. I prefer the text editor, but the GUI, this one is very nice, and you'll know why. So this is the openbox menu 2. Before there was openbox menu 1 done by Python, but it was depreciated, so they created this one. The nice thing about this one is that we have this menu. You have to be very careful about the ID here, root-menu, because if you create a menu, you have to reference it by an ID, and this ID will be referenced in the rc.xml file. So let's say, for example, if you notice, run program terminal, and I right click, there is run program terminal. So if you want to learn how you can construct a menu like this, you just copy what they did here. Run program separator. Let's say I want to add another separator. So I have two separators. I save it here, and I right click. Now you see we have two separators. If you want, you can remove this separator. We're back here, and I click here. It will reconfigure, and we'll have back to the separator. This one is very handy if you want to construct one like this. Very handy. And you notice here, let's say I will continue here in the terminal. So the terminal, if you want to add another item, let's say I want to add another item, and this item I will call it leaf pad, for example. I don't know if they have leaf pad. Let me go, and the action is execute, and the execution is leaf pad. Okay, so I created another item here, leaf pad. And the amazing part about this one is you can add an icon. So here they don't have an icon. I click here. Let's say I want to go to where the icons are. Let's say it's in user, share, icons. Let's go for this one, apps. I right click on it. Let me add it to apps, and let me make it 48, for example. Let me bookmark it. It will be here. And here, let's say I want to search for leaf pad. Is it available? We have leaf pad, and I click OK. So I have now an icon. Let me update here. So here you have this icon. Of course, you can update for all of these. For the terminal also, you go to, for example, let us also do this one. For the terminal, you go here, you go to 48. Let us search for something terminal. Let's say this one. Okay, you press OK. So I have a terminal. Let me update it. I have a terminal. So you continue all of them. It's very easy to add these icons. If you want to look on the text file, let me go for the text file, for example, edit menu.xml. Let me reload. And you see here, the item label is leaf pad. They added here icon, and you can add here the location for the icon. These were available before, but now since we have this openbox menu 2, you can directly include the icons for each and every one of them directly from the GUI. Also, if you want, you can look at this file also, and you can learn how did they perform this menu if you want to be a power user for openbox. So these are the same thing. Let's say inside this leaf pad I want to add add a menu here. So I click here, add menu. I will call this menu, let's say, my menu. Okay, and the ID is menu 2, for example. Okay, so I have this menu. You can put also an icon for this menu, and you click down. So we have here one item. So this item I will call item 1, and let it run Genie, for example. Okay, let me update. So what we have, I have a my menu and I have item 1. You can add item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5. So this is how everything is happening. You can start filling the most ones that you need, especially here in the front. Don't concern about these images or the icons for the others. And if you don't like this one, you can directly remove this one altogether. Okay, another thing, let's say if you want this, right click, this is the root menu. If you want to create your own menu and you want to keep this one, so what you do is you add your own menu. Let me call this one is my menu, and I will put an ID my menu. Okay, and I will add, let's say I will add only one item for Firefox, for example. I'll put here Firefox, execute Firefox-ESR, and the icon you can go for 48 Firefox. Click OK. So I have this item and I update. Of course, nothing happens because this one is the root menu and this one is my menu. If you want to make this one as the root menu, you create this ID, make it root-menu, and this one my menu. But we can have another thing to play with. So if you want to get this menu and show it, what we will do is we'll go for settings, openbox, edit rc.xml, and here you search for root-menu. So if you notice, if I press super space, I will get the menu. If I press alt control Q, I will also get the menu. And of course the right click will also get me the menu. So let me change super space. Instead of this one, I will put my menu. Okay, and I will save it. Of course I should reconfigure. So I go for settings, openbox, reconfigure, and I press super space. So if you notice, I have Firefox new item. It is one item and this is Firefox new item. And if I right click, I will get this one. Super space, you will get only this item. You can start filling the items, Firefox, all of them. You can fill them as you are progressing. The other thing that I will talk about, which is also present here, which is very nice, is the GUI applications settings editor. If I click it, here what you have for each application, you can give it what you want the application to do. This one is configured in rc.xml. I will show you where it is. rc.xml, you go down and you will see here in rc.xml there is something called applications. So in these applications you can check if you want to put for a certain application a title, you want to put it half the screen, half right the screen. All of this need to be manipulated here. But if you want, and if you notice here, you have some only for GIMP which are available. So we will try to add some things in this application editor. Let me show you. For example, here I want to let Firefox, when I open Firefox, I don't want it to have, let's say, decoration, no decoration. So what I will do first, let me open first Firefox. Let me make it half screen. Okay. So this is Firefox. I will open also the terminal. I just need to know the class name. So I press xprop. You have a cross. I put it here. It tells me the class name is Firefox-ESR with a capital F. So what I will do now is I want to add here something here. In the class here, I will put with a capital F Firefox.ESR. So you don't need to enter the name or the role. You enter Firefox.ESR. And let's say I want to make it decoration with no decoration. No decoration. And if you want, I want it to open in desktop 2. Now we are in desktop 1. Notice we are now in desktop 2. And here, if you want the focus, if you don't put a focus, it will directly take it to desktop 2 without focusing it. So we are staying in desktop 1. So if you want to follow the application, I will put focus equals yes. For example, click apply. Click apply again, and I will close. If we want, let us check if it is available now in the edit rc.xml. We go to the end, and I will reload. And if you notice here, the application class equals Firefox, decoration no, desktop 2, focus yes. So this one I used to do them directly by hand. It's very nice that they have a GUI with all the features. So if you don't remember a feature, you can use this very nice application. You will not find it in many openbox distributions. So this is very handy, and especially for new users, instead of playing around with this text file, you get this one. So of course we need to save it. Already it's saved now. What we can do is we need to remove this one. I will go to settings, openbox, I will reconfigure. And now when I press the web browser, if you notice here, it opened in 2. There is no decoration. And you can have many other options. Let's say you want it maximized, you want it on the center. Because this one was opened in this manner, openbox has a feature called, it's a smart feature. It is present. You can search it inside the rc.xml. It is over here. If you want it, let's say half the screen, you can make it half the screen using, of course, the settings, openbox, application setting editor. You can also play with it. Here, let's say I want the decorate to be yes here. Oh, no, I didn't. This is for GM. From here, I want the decoration is yes. And I want it maximized. Where is maximized? Full screen, yes. For example, yes. I click apply, click close. Let me press Ctrl Q to close this one. We go to settings, openbox, reconfigure. And when I press the web browser, and we got it like what we did. These are very handy for all openbox users. I really recommend that you use this distribution and learn about openbox and what you can do with it. It is very nicely done and you can benefit a lot. Another thing is Tint2. I will not cover Tint2. I covered it in many other videos. I will show you, I will put some videos that explain Tint2, but it is very nice. You can edit the config file. You press it and you can edit the config file. I really don't like this one. There is another better alternative, I think. I don't know if it is available here. Tint2 conf. This is better and you can change it however you like. This is the position. It is directly on top. You can put it in the bottom. You check the length, the panel items, the taskbars, the task buttons, the launcher. There's the clock, system tray, battery. So you can, it's better to have this GUI instead of the text editor that is available here. I don't think there's much. Of course, there is the conky RC. I already used this conky RC to change the font. The font was 9 here. I made it 13 so that the font is better for you, so that you can see all of these shortcut keys. There is also the D menu, notification, power management. They use, I think, the XFCE for power management, or Mate. They are interchanging between them. Screensaver. For the wallpaper, they are using, of course, nitrogen, and this is the default one. The last thing we will talk about is we did not cover is an openbox, the auto start. This is when you auto start openbox. You have to be also careful if you want to install some things that you need to directly launch. For example, the Tint2, the panel, the compositor, nitrogen, also for the wallpaper, if you have a nice wallpaper you want. Set root is, first it is the, if you don't have nitrogen or you remove the nitrogen, it will give you this solid color, which is very similar. The Polkit, there is the network manager applet for logging in for Wi-Fi, volume control tuner, and also there is here the clipboard manager, which we call Parcelite, which is also used. There's not much, and also we get conky-q, which is on a quiet mode so that it will be installed. So this covered Crunchbang++ with a very good small tutorial on openbox and how you use it. Maybe I will do another very big video on openbox in order to benefit from it, especially for the tiling, left, right, all of these, and many other things that are not included. That's it for now, guys, and we'll be back with another video.